Hi Chitrangada, hi Arjun.
Hi.
Welcome to our show.
Thanks, Madhurita.
Okay. You guys have been talking about how this movie is a battle of sexes. Tell me more about
See,
it.
what are we doing here?
This is the office. We're an advertising agency. At least let's pretend we're in one.
Look at
Pretend.
filmy agency.
Yeah, we're all filmies. We're all filmies. India's full of filmies. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us.
Yeah.
What do you
So,
want to
the
know?
battle of sexes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what the film is about. It's about battle of sexes. It's about men and women in a workplace and what happens and क्या complications होती हैं because of the power play, because of egos, because of a sexual tone that takes, you know, and then that becomes sexual harassment at some point. So that's what the film is about.
I think it's also about just, dismantling the work environment, okay, where a man and woman today work, okay, and showing you, okay, the sides of a woman, okay, and of a man, which you see from the point of views of Maya's character, of what she thinks, and everything in life somewhere down the line becomes a kind of a perception.
Right.
You know, yeah, I could say something to you, okay, and mean it in a totally different way, but how you perceive it could be meant in a completely different way, and that's what sexual harassment is really. You know, I could actually say to you like, "Hey, Madhurita, that waistcoat looks really hot on you." Okay, now you could say, "Shit, why did he talk to me like that?"
Wow. Or take it as a compliment. Yeah.
You know,
Right.
or you could say, "Hey, thank you."
Right.
You know, whatever. Or you really felt something.
Yeah.
Now, how did I say it? What did I really mean?
Right.
Okay, you go and you complain and you said, no, it was not right. And he made me feel uncomfortable. Anybody who makes you feel uncomfortable with a comment like that
Right.
can be pulled up for sexual harassment, right? So it
Very
is
subjective, yeah.
it is
Yeah,
all
yeah.
subjective. It is all a thing on perception.
You're doing your research. Did you all, what were the findings like? Have you all met
See, it's very
people? Have you
simple.
spoken to people
If
who
I
are working
send you
agencies?
I send you an SMS.
Yeah.
It's a vulgar joke. Okay? You might laugh.
Yeah.
A person might feel offended.
Yeah.
If you feel offended, I'm done.
Yeah. So also, when do you...
Yeah.
Prove
It's
intention.
a very thin line because when do you know healthy flirting turns into sexual harassment?
Right.
I mean, you
I
can't
ask that
really...
question all the time in the film.
Yeah.
Like, really,
That
isn't
was-
it?
Yeah, yes, in the film. No, well, the research, there wasn't much really. It's something that happens to everyone some way or the other. It doesn't have to be only in workplace.
Right.
You go in a bus, you know what happens. So this
Yeah,
harassment,
yeah.
the feeling of being violated in some way is something that is
Yeah.
kind of known to quite a few of us.
Yeah.
I think. So no research in that, but I think I did speak to a couple of HR heads and
Yeah.
people who get such calls, from people
Yeah.
who say that this is how I'm feeling harassed. And I spoke to some people and they said that, the girl is saying that, this is the way he looks at me every day. He makes me uncomfortable in a meeting. I don't know what to do. I sometimes, calm when I'm giving a presentation.
Don't look at him.
No, but I'm saying it's when you're wary if somebody is doing
You get
that
really
to you.
conscious and you tend to look more because you're trying to see whether he's looking at you.
It's just that,
So I guess...
making somebody uncomfortable is just that.
Yeah.
And you're right, there is no case.
Yeah.
So there is nothing
You know,
that
it's
the
very
HR
difficult to
can do.
prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
very
very
difficult.
difficult to prove. It's
Yeah.
easier to prove rape than sexual harassment.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it exists. There are institutions. There's one big IT company. I don't know if I can take its name, so I
Okay.
won't. But I know, and we've done research on it. There's 60 sexual harassment cases a month.
Wow.
Okay, that come out of that, and they have one department
Which
only
deals with that.
dedicated to that.
To dealing with sexual
To
harassment. cases.
dealing with that and to teach and to tell them that listen, this is wrong what you're doing because this is affecting this person in this way. So there are warnings that are given. There is a certain amount of information that is given to that person that this girl is not liking the way you're behaving.
Okay.
So behave yourself. So you're checked. You're told. If you continue, then there's a sickness there.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
there is
Mental
something
sickness.
wrong.
Yeah.
You know. And if you see that sickness there, then you've got to deal with it and handle it on a more stronger level. And I think that's why this film is important. We've not made a film about sleaze.
Yeah.
This film has actually got a UA certificate.
Yeah.
Okay, which everybody says, "Arey, this film
कैसे
को
हो
UA
गया?"
certificate
Yeah.
कैसे मिल गया? क्योंकि हमने वैसी
clearly-
picture बनाई
Yeah,
नहीं.
yeah.
When it's a UA certificate, and if my daughter was at an age, say 15, okay, I would like to take her and watch this film with
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So as a father, I can tell her, "Beta, you
ऐसे हो सकता है.
अगर
Yeah.
हो गया
Yeah,
तुम्हारे साथ
exactly.
कभी ऐसे,
क्या
तो please
Come and tell
me, or you can react in this way. You don't
Right.
need to go through it. Okay?
Absolutely.
Or I can tell my son कि listen, dude, don't behave this way in this environment.
But it is a very touchy, very sensitive topic. So didn't you have any reservations when you heard the script of the story about...
You know, in fact, I was just telling him, I didn't read the script. I actually got an idea. He gave me a bit of a narration about what the film is about. And I really didn't think of the thing about sexual harassment. That's not what I thought of at all. For me, what really I thought was interesting was about these two people and a sort of a love story that ran through the film. It's about how you can very passionately be in love with someone or feel for somebody, and then how passionately can you start hating or dislike the same person, and how strong are those emotions simply because you felt for someone a certain way at some point, you know, and how much it gets amplified just because now you are probably in a different situation and there's something you don't like that the person is doing, and then you dislike it too much because you loved him too much, you know. So for me, that kind of dynamics and that bit was really interesting. And I really wasn't reacting so much about, you know, sexual harassment till the time we finished.
Sexual harassment is the backdrop of it.
Yeah, it's the backdrop.
Okay, it's what makes the film interesting.
The story is beautiful.
Okay, but the soul of the film is a relationship. She said a very wonderful thing to me just now when we were just talking about it. She said, you know, it's so strange that why does a woman have to enter a office and start behaving like a man? Why can't a woman just be a woman? Why can't a man accept a woman of just being a woman and the way she is? That's equality. But 90% of people, which is true, of women who land up there, now they think, we have to behave like this guy. We have to become that alpha male.
I can so relate to what you're saying. I know, totally.
You know what I mean?
I know.
For a man, now if I am being bossed by a woman like that, okay, I'll say, yaar, तो दायन है यार ये क्या इसको क्या हो गया ओके इसकी सेंसिटिविटी को क्या हो गया
Chitrangada, I'm sure you're aware that you're working with one of the most good-looking guys in the industry. How did you handle that? Don't make such faces.
What do you mean?
Handle that?
What is there to handle?
Just that he's
She handled me with care.
I was nodding like this. Yes. Well, no, I think, yes, of course, he's...
I'm a very difficult person to handle.
Really?
Please tell them.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, no, really, honestly. I think he's wonderful. He's very real, to be honest. I mean, he's somebody who won't fake about being nice to you, which is, I think, the best part. And so you get to know him slowly. He has his moods and whatever. He likes his space. But I think what I like about the fact is that when you do have a comfort level, there's a real kind of comfort level you would have with him, which is really good.
Which I think also comes out in your chemistry. So there's a lot of thought that's gone behind the screenplay of this film. So for us, it was very important just to be like, make sure. And then most of the film, I'm like sulking with her. Okay. Like, I mean, we are at loggerheads with each other.
Yeah.
So मेरा क्या होता है कि every time I have to do a scene like that, I have to become like that.
So he sulked through half
so I'm like sitting there and, you know, I'm like, in a grumpy kind of a zone, okay, or whatever. And she's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Okay, so she's like, sure you okay? I said, listen, I'm telling you now, I'm fine. Why do you keep telling me? Okay, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Then she like come to my trailer in the evening. She said, Arjun, what is wrong? You know,
I was like
what
really
is going-
concerned.
And I told her, I said, listen, it is not you. I am getting into my character.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm doing this.
So I'm
you
like,
know?
okay.
So she's like, oh, okay. So I said, so don't just ignore those.
Arjun, you were a model long before you turned actor. I'm sure you've throughout your life, you had a lot of female attention, women falling over you. How would you really handle all of that, really? I mean, you got to be very careful as an actor, as a public figure.
See, the day I had my second daughter, my father called me and he said, Arjun, now you've really proved you're a ladies' man. So, so I have no problems with it. I love the female attention. I love the opposite sex. And I have some of my best friends are from the opposite sex more than men, you know. And I don't know, I just have this connect. And maybe I should not have been called Arjun. I should have been called Krishna or something. I don't know.
Kishita, on another note, tell me, the kind of movies you've been doing in the last few years have been quite varied. Are you happy with the way your career is shaping up?
Well, yes, I think I am. I've done not so much work, but whatever that I've done, I think I'm very happy with it. Honestly, there wasn't ever any strategy, and I think I probably should have planned it in a certain way. But it's really just, I think, what I've just come upon, and it's come my way, and I've taken it up. But I think I'm very happy with what I've done so far.
But the general belief always is like you need a godfather and all of that. You really never had one, or did you?
Well,
Of course, yeah, Sudhir Mishra.
Yeah, so
I've got Sudhir as a mentor, and who's
Yeah.
always given me some I think my best work.
Best work. This is like, you see her performance in this film, it's superb.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I wouldn't say that, but I think it's about earning your time here. You got to spend time, make your mistakes, and earning your way through.
Yeah.
So I think everybody has to pay their dues and do that.
Arjun, you kind of made the kind of filmmakers you're working with. We see a kind of shift in the kind of work you're doing. Was it conscious after Rock On, or it's just the kind
it's
of
not
movies that you got?
I mean, I really look for characters that I can just go and I can transform into that person. I enjoy doing that. I think that's what acting is, I mean, that's what the fun about acting is to go and explore a different person who you have no clue what this guy is going to turn out to be, and how is he going to be, and why is he going to be that person. Because I really enjoy to participate in that whole process. And I think now filmmakers just see me like that, and they say,
got the claim for all these kind of roles, the real
and
roles
they
you
say,
played.
ye Arjun ko de do, ye kar lega. So which is good, So I'm glad. I think finally I'm getting what I've been trying to do and trying to cultivate, and I think I'm getting that kind of work. So I'm happy.
We heard you're doing a biopic based on Smita Patil's life or something like that. But the comparison's always there with you and Smita Patil.
I know.
Yeah,
No,
how does
somebody
it
came
make
up
you?
with this,
Okay.
I was giving an interview and somebody said that, if they would you like to do a biopic? I was like, yeah, that would be interesting because again, to become another person, to start to have the same characteristics and, take on the manners and everything is a huge challenge. To do a biopic is a huge challenge, really, because you're trying to, meet somebody at least halfway or somewhere there who's been there and people know that person. And then they said, why not Smita Patil? And would you ever want to play her? And I just said that, yeah, I think that would be great because everybody, just has always given me that compliment. So yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, in this movie, both of you are in advertising. So give me a line to describe yourself, Arjun. How would you describe yourself in one line? Like a tagline for Arjun Rampal.
For Arjun?
Yeah.
For me?
For the real Arjun Rampal, not your character on screen.
Complicated.
That's really one word.
One word, you said you wanted one word, no?
One word or one line.
One line, okay. I always believe that life is about experience, And so yeah, I'm always looking forward for a good experience.
I think I'm just a bit scattered.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Scattered.
Really?
I agree.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And she comes on the set also all scattered. Actually, you think of Chitrangada and you think, okay, this girl is going, like when I, see, this is all perception, and...
Where are you coming? Come on.
No, but really, you think like this girl, she'll come and she'll be like super confident and she'll know exactly what to do and all of that. But she's quite and very sorted and all of that. But she's actually quite the opposite.
Really?
Okay, she really looks and she says and she really trusts and believes and, puts her trust into people to kind of grope somewhere to put it all together, which I think is the niceness of the performance as well, So there's no
I think I'm always anxious. I'm just always
Restless energy kind of.
Very,
and I think it's nicer to be like that.
And I have to ask this question, Arjun. You've been in the industry for so long. Do you still feel competition? Do you still feel competitive?
I didn't feel, I don't compete, no. I don't believe in that.
Most actors say that, but is it really true that you don't compete?
Maybe for them it's not, but for me it is. Okay, but really, I mean, seriously, I think I only compete with myself. I only compete with, I don't look at like box office numbers and say, oh, okay, that guy's film did 100 crores, so mine should do 150 crores. And I don't look at, I think we are in a really wonderful space, you get a chance to create and you get a chance to, become somebody else, and you don't need to go through that same mundane life that 99% or maybe 99.9% of the whole population of the world does, is going to the same office, doing the same things. I get a chance to explore and do so much more and still be able to connect with so many people. So it's no point in me getting totally caught up in that. Okay, I've gone through that. Of course it's very nerve-wracking, okay, because there's a lot of your passion that goes into a film. But you've got to let it go. You just let it go and you say, now it's out, okay? And you did it honestly, and you take back the experience that you had from the film.
Just move on.
And you say, okay, the experience was good. I learned a lot, and I think, it was fun.
It's super talking to two of you. Wish you all the best for your movie.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on our show.
Thanks for being here.